Today I have a little bit of a different kind of problem. My CO2 propane alarm keeps going off randomly and it doesn't make any sense. I have the doors or windows open on the trailer, fresh air going through it, and the propane gas has been off for 4 or 5 months out there at the tanks. So there's no propane in the trailer, but the little alarm just keeps going off. So got to figure out what's wrong with that. So this is the way it's supposed to look normally. This green light is on, which indicates it has power and it is working properly. And then this is the alarm light, and the sound comes out of these holes here, and this is the sensor hole where it picks up the gas or the CO2, and it just randomly goes off. So I'm going to press the silence and test button to enter the test mode and see what happens. So that's the CO2 alarm. It beeps like that and the light flashes. When it flashes longer like that, that's the propane gas alarm. And then it goes back to green, which means, oh, it's working properly. Well, this just randomly goes off. We can have the trailer closed up, go inside, come back outside, and hear it going off in the trailer. And it just does that every few days, just randomly. You can press the silence button when it's going off and it'll silence it for 5 minutes. But then after that 5 minutes, it'll go back off again. Even with the windows open and the door open and the air ventilating through the trailer, it thinks there's carbon monoxide gas in here. It's not the propane alarm, it's the CO alarm that keeps going off. The propane gas has been off to the trailer for about 4 months. The bottles outside are closed up. I'm going to double check that. Okay, let's open this up. Turn those, closes this way. Yep, as tight as it can be. It's closed up. Has been closed up for a long time. So, there's no gas in the trailer. No reason carbon monoxide would be in the trailer either. So during normal operations, your CO2 alarm only goes off if the CO2 gas builds up in the trailer. The only way that can happen is if you're running your stove without the vent fan on, or the doors or windows open to let some fresh air in to exhaust that burnt fuel. It's kind of like you have a car in a garage with the garage closed and you turn the car on, the exhaust fumes are going to build up in the garage, and that's CO2 gas. None of that's happening, so that's why I believe that alarm is bad and it needs replacing. So the new one was ordered, it's arrived. Let's open it up. So here's the new one. Right there, identical replacement. I'm going to open it up and see what it says. We don't need any of these plates that come with it. That's nice they included it. We just need this little part because that's all it is. There is an instruction manual in here. It's just like the owner's manual, just like the one that came with the trailer. It tells how it's operated, how to install it. It gives you the indicators and what happens if there's a CO alarm, if it's flashing, and 4 chirps, and constant beeps, and the light is on for the propane leak. And that's what I'm experiencing, is the flashing and 4 chirps for the CO alarm. So need to replace that. To do that, you got to have one of these square tip bit heads for the screws. So I'm going to turn the power off to the trailer and get the old one out. On the GeoPro, the battery disconnect switch is out here under the frame. You have to reach in there and turn it. And that turns off the battery when it's in that position. Now with the power to the trailer off from the battery, the green light goes off. It indicates there's no power going to it. So now all I got to do is unscrew these screws. Oh my goodness. They didn't give me enough wire. The wires are way back in here. Okay, got to figure that out. Okay, after investigating, these wires are so short, there's no way to replace it here. There's no access panel over here in this door. Back up in there. And this doesn't come off. None of this comes off. So the only way I can see to get to it is to remove this power unit and pull that out. And hopefully this cabinet area will be exposed and I can get to the wires to replace it. So after considering all my options, I decided to taking the power unit out would not be very feasible because all the electrical wires that ran all through the trailer go into the back of that power unit, and they probably don't have enough slack either for that to pull out in order to gain access behind that little hole where those wires come out. So there is a panel here that I think I can somehow or another gain access back in there, but I need to get this panel out first. Here, there's just two screws holding it down, and then I can see what's back in there to see if I can gain access back in there somehow. So let's unscrew these two screws that are holding this panel in place on the floor here. So now, having gotten that panel out, I can get access back here to the back of the trailer. You can see water lines, electric lines, the heater line going back to the bathroom, and then this compartment back up in here is open. So in the process, I've learned that this door is in my way to gain access back in there, so I need to take this door off. So, don't have any choice but to undo the hinges. A lot of trouble. If they would have just gave us an extra 6 inches or so of wire there, we could have pulled it out and just replaced it. Okay, so got the door off now. We'll set it over to the side. So pulling the back panel off, open this up, and then pulling this little front panel off right there. And I had to take a box cutter and just razor that little thin stuff. And you can see that the wires are in there and they're really tight, and that's why I can't pull that out. You can see the wires right here. When I pull on the thing, they're going into these little twist ties, but it's way too tight the way it is, so I'm going to have to get in there and loosen that up. So having determined that there's no way I can get any more slack to come out of the hole here with all the wires back in there the way they ran, I made up 2 extensions. I got a black and red wire extension, and I'm going to cut these here, splice them in, and then I'll have plenty of room for the future to splice in the new alarm. And if I ever have to remove it again, I can just pull those extension wires out and replace it. It'll be real simple. So I'm going to put that together. Okay, so I got my extensions. I managed to get another inch or so out of that. So I'm going to cut these wires. Get rid of the old one. Get that out of the way. And I'm going to strip these back. Alright, so I got my red and black stripped. Get set up and ready here. black one, put it in there. Crimp that down. Got a good solid connection. I'm going to take the red one, get it ready right there like that. Crimp that down. It's getting tight. Tape that up. Alright. Now, I can just push my wires back in here. Take the screws out of the old one. Put the screws on this new one. And screw it back on the wall. Alright, got my screws. Put these wires back in here. The screws back in the same hole. There we go. All mounted and done. I'm just going to check the back, make sure the wires aren't in a bind anywhere, and then we'll turn the power back on. Okay, so just make sure my wires are all kind of laying back in here nice and free. They are, no problem. Close this back up. All done. So your trailer, the wires may be loose and have enough slack to be able to pull the wires out to put on the new CO alarm if you ever have to replace that. But if they're not, you can always get in there and do an extension like you just saw me do. It was somewhat tight in that little area, and I had to take off all those access panels, but it worked out okay. Now we're going to see how it works. Okay, I'm going to go out and turn the power back onto the trailer. Let's see if it comes on without alarming. Okay, turn the power back on. And the little green light is flashing. Okay, the light has gone to solid green. It took about 3 minutes. The instruction manual does say there's a 3-minute warm-up for it to warm up to go into operational mode. Now I'm going to just press test, make sure it's working correctly. That's the CO2 alarm, the flashing light and the quick beeps. Now the solid light and the longer beeps are the propane alarm. So the self-test passed. It went back into operational mode with the green light lit. So we're good to go. Hopefully this one works. Maybe this video will be helpful. If you ever need to replace yours, you can kind of see what you're in for. And hopefully you enjoyed looking at this little quick video showing how to replace the CO2 alarm if it ever happens to you. Thank you for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel for more RV adventures and more repair and maintenance things as they come up. And we'll see you again soon out on the road.